The object of Taxi Chronicles is to allow real riders with real stories share their experience and enhance your life. So sit back and enjoy the journey. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have the lovely lady Amy, and she's a student, and she's from the lovely town of Birmingham, where she's very happy, jolly, but she's living in London. And she's studying to be a barrister, a criminal barrister, lawyer. So we're just going to find out why, what motivates her, what kind of person she is, and see what we can learn from Amy to enhance our life. So nice to have you here today, Amy.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the lift.
Okay, you're welcome. So, why law?
It's like an interview, isn't it? Well, it is an interview, but I mean a job interview. Why do you want to be a criminal? I have found law interesting because it can empower people.
What's been the most interesting thing that you've learned about law that you wish you knew when you started?
It's unpredictability. I don't know if I wish I knew that when I started, but it's something bearing in mind that the system is very broken at the moment, especially criminal law. There's not a lot of funding in it. It's very inefficient, and so it can be a difficult industry to try and prepare yourself for. So I did my undergraduate in economics and politics, and then I did the law conversion course, and now I'm on the bar course. So it's my 5th year of academic study, and the course works similar to a normal degree in the fact that you have workshops, you have reading. I'm doing a master's, so I do pro bono work alongside it, which is doing actual legal aid work under the supervision of a solicitor. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it's pretty similar to a normal degree. I'd say a bit more vocational though than my undergraduate, in that you're learning to do things you'll be doing in practice, such as cross-examination or conferencing.
How does cross-examination work? Is it like in the movies?
Well, I always say that would be a question in 10 years' time when I'm practicing. But when we're at uni, cross-exam, I mean, don't think it's as dramatic as in the movies. In that a lot of TV I've watched in law, people stand up and objection and all that. That doesn't really happen as far as I'm concerned, but I wouldn't say I'm the most knowledgeable on that topic yet.
What kind of personality do you have to do what you do?
I don't think it's about personality. I think it's about the skills that you have. I'd say communication skills and kind of grit and determination. But I think, and I guess being honesty and integral is quite important, given that you're trying to work within the legal system. But I'd say communication is the most important, because you're going to be communicating with clients, which is going to be a variety of different people. You're going to be communicating with solicitors, other barristers, judges. So I think interpersonal skills is really important.
Mm-hmm. So just to make sure I'm clear on this, if you've got any kind of criminal record, you can't be a lawyer. Is that right?
I'm not sure, actually.
Okay.
I think I'd be surprised if you. I don't think any type of criminal law is correct. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know.
Okay, fair enough. We'll come back to that on interview 2. How do you find living in London, coming from Birmingham?
I enjoy London. I like how big it is, which is very cliche, but there is no city like it. Like, Birmingham's the second biggest city, but just nothing like London, in that London has lots of different areas. So you could go to kind of Whitechapel on one day and kind of explore the East End. On another day you could go to Chelsea and you get two different experiences. Mm-hmm. So I'd say Birmingham's more just, there's not that uniqueness of places within Birmingham as there is in London, which I like. It's expensive though, could do without that.
What I like about Birmingham is that ring road that goes round. It's like a flyover.
Why do you like that?
Because I find if we had that in South London, you could get around London a lot easier. If you think about it. may not
But you have the
look nice.
tube here is a benefit, but that's not ideal for taxis, the tube, I guess. But
no, we don't have tubes in South London. We have it just along the Thames, but not going deep South London because it's London clay, and you can't build tunnels in clay. What would be your advice to someone coming to live in London from Birmingham? What critical advice would you give?
I think to walk around when you can, because there's lots of things to see, even if you're not going anywhere in particular. So if you've got a 20-minute journey, but you're going to get the tube, just always walk, unless obviously you're in a rush, maybe you can't. But I've enjoyed walking around London. Save some money, it's expensive.
You can always get a Boris bike.
Yeah, or that's a great shout. Boris bike, or the scooters are so much fun.
Oh, you get the scooters?
Yeah, I love the scooters.
Do you have scooters in Birmingham?
I think they might have introduced. I haven't actually lived in Birmingham for a while because I went to uni in Exeter. But I think we do have the scooters now.
So tell us about the scooters. I've never ridden one.
Yeah, you just have an app, the Tier app, the ones that I've got.
I hear you have to have a driving license to drive.
Yeah, you do, and you can't. Yeah, it's kind of like driving a car, the rules around it. So, but it was fun. They go really quick as well.
10 miles an hour.
Is that all? I felt quicker than that.
No.
Well, yeah, I recommend the scooter. There were certain bits where it's like no-go zones. So it would just slow down the scooter and tell you can't be there.
Oh, slow it down.
Yeah, and stop it in certain areas. I actually think, yeah, like you said, on certain parts of it that were kind of more pedestrianised, they didn't want you to be on there. Which makes sense, I guess.
I know Birmingham's a city for curries.
Yeah.
How do you find London?
London food in general. There's quite a lot on offer. I think that's something I need to explore more in London. Some more different eating out places, but I don't think I've had a bad experience. I've gone to quite a few different places. I haven't stuck to one particular type of cuisine. I've had quite a lot of different meals at quite a lot of different places.
Would you encourage other people to come to London from Birmingham?
Yeah, I think so. I think it depends. They both have their perks, don't they?
There's one thing you haven't touched on. I was surprised about saying hello to people. I know Birmingham people are very friendly.
Oh, I
like
see what you mean.
hello.
Yeah, that's true. But I have not experienced the kind of. The only time, notably recently, that I experienced people maybe in London not being as friendly is that I went roller skating the other day with my friend just for a laugh because we've got rollerblades. And we passed quite a few other people rollerblading, believe it or not, on Clapham Common. And in there is no way that usually when I've encountered people doing something like that or something similar, even if you just see two runners, you acknowledge the fact you're doing the same thing, you kind of laugh about it, like, oh, you're on roller. And we had absolutely nothing, deadpan faces from them. So yeah, I think there is that kind of part of London that some people are a bit. I don't know what it is. Why do people not say hello as much in London?
It's about money. Everyone's here for money. And it's
Do you think?
Time is precious.
Yeah, but time doesn't take too long to say hello.
I don't know about that.
Maybe their priorities are just wrong.
Think of how many people you would end up saying hello to in the morning.
Not many.
Be a lot.
Okay, I could smile at least.
Yeah,
Although with masks now, that's difficult.
you could get the wrong attention then. You start smiling at people.
What do you mean? I mean, that's their problem, not mine.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
Problem very quickly with people coming up to you.
I'm sorry, but
I'm just telling you.
if I walk to the tube and smile at a few people, they're not going to come up to me.
You'll be surprised you'll get some young guy who thinks you're up for it. Come on. Oh, she's fine.
Absolute rubbish.
Okay.
Absolute rubbish.
Okay. Regardless of my 45 or 46 years of experience of living in London, it's rubbish. But okay,
Yeah.
okay then. Especially in South London, where I'm born and bred. That's nice. So just going back to law before we finish, what kind of criminal cases will someone like yourself be taking, and do you get a choice in what you'd be dealing with?
You can specialise, but you won't you don't get a choice of, so say there's what's called the cab rank rule. So you have to take the next client that comes along. You can't refuse a client based on this or that. But you can choose to specialise in different areas, and then you might be like directed to certain types of work once you've specialised. But you can't like refuse clients based on personal preferences or opinions.
So, if let's say, God forbid, someone had their children molested or abducted, or they had experienced that themselves, and now they've been asked to defend somebody who's been accused, they couldn't say, listen, I'm probably not going to be the best person for this, because the way I'm looking at this person, I feel gut that they,
It couldn't be based off. I know I've met a barrister that doesn't deal in certain types of cases because of certain emotional reasons or past experiences. But that's different to saying you're not going to take a case because you think they're guilty.
So if you said, listen,
so if someone said to me, yeah,
I can't deal with those cases, I probably won't be the best person for the children.
Well, there's various rules about like thinking. There are a lot of exceptions to the cab rank rule, and I don't know, I can't remember all of them, but I think one of them is about your seatability. But it's all outlined. There are some exceptions to it.
Okay. What would you say to your 16-year-old self?
Have more confidence in yourself.
And last two questions, what would you say to somebody, a young person who wants to pursue a career in law? What would be your advice to them?
My advice would be to get as much experience as you can, even if you can do that really easily by just going to watch court cases in the public gallery, and soak up what everyone's doing. Because if you can say that you've like witnessed good advocacy or good lawyers, then you come across as though you understand what you're going into. So I'd just say get a lot of experience, understand what the field is that you're going into, would be my advice.
Okay. And my last question is, what's the impact you want to have on the world?
Oh goodness, that's a big question, and not enough time to answer in 1 minute.
Come on, give us a real legal. Come on.
No, I don't. I think that's not. What do you mean impact?
Impact. Okay. It's like a legacy. It's like.
I'm not worried about a legacy.
Okay.
I don't think. I just kind of want to do a purposeful job.
A purpose. Well, that's the impact. You want to do a purposeful job. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, use my skills. Put my skills to good use. That's what I want to do.
Well, thanks a lot for that interview.
No probs.
And we wish you well.
Thanks.
We hope that episode enhanced your life. We post an interview every day as well as vlogging on our social media channels. Don't forget to subscribe to get our latest episode.